All right. Let's get this. Sorry. All right. So, good morning, and would like to thank God for yet another day He has given us. Um, Today we continue with our our series, and it's basically about um diet and the close of probation. So one may wonder why we talk of spirituality and health as a reminder. Still, we saw the previous day that God is actually interested in the well-being of our spiritual lives, but also our physical lives. The two cannot be separated. When one is affected, definitely the other is also affected. So today we'll begin talking about the physical things. Yesterday it was basically a preamble, and this is God's ideal diet for man. Um, we'll begin with our memory text today. Um, Actually, our theme text, we have a theme text that is Psalms 103, verses 1 up to 3. And it says that, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name." Um, then goes on to say that, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgiveth all thine iniquities, and who healeth all thine diseases." So this is just a reminder of what we've just seen, that God is interested in actually forgiving our sins, but also healing our diseases. And how does God do that? Um, he does it through the mystery of the cross of Jesus. Then the healing part of it, still he does it mysteriously, but this time around through uh, the agencies of nature, food, fruits, and the rest of other things which he has created. So our text today is taken from the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 29 through 30. When God was created the earth, it was an order of things. Um, he created light, and then sorry, he created light, then water, then land, then plants came forth, and then animals, and then the crown of the creation came on later, and that is Adam and Eve. When Adam and Eve came out of uh, the Creator's hands, they were basically like babies. They didn't know anything. So God had to instruct them, and one of the best things he had to teach them is what to eat and what to drink. And so here he says that, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." So Adam was just like his body, because he came from the soil. Whatever he had to eat was also supposed to come from the soil itself. In short, we are to depend on the very um, earth from which we are created. All the minerals, when you look at the human body, every mineral that we require in the body is actually found in the soil, but we cannot get that directly. We cannot eat soil, but we're supposed to eat it in a more pleasing form, and that is fruits and nuts and vegetables, as we shall see later on. Then, as if that was not enough, um, he goes on to tell Adam what also was supposed to be the food for the beasts that were actually to serve him, and that is still the plant kingdom. So now, according to what we just saw from the previous verse, this verse 29, it said that every tree, every herb bearing seed, so that we should put in context. Then also every tree which has seeds in it, every fruit tree that had seed in it. So that is the basis of what God's ideal diet is. God's ideal diet, I say God's ideal diet because there is something that is also not ideal. There's something that is not perfect, that is disease causing, and it is what we usually find on our plates on daily. So this is just a summary of what is available out there. There's quite a lot that we cannot exhaust it. We can see we have chia seeds. Those of you who have tested them, they may not be directly for food, but they are very good in calories and very little fat. We have pumpkins, we have sunflower, we have almonds, we have sesame, which people call simsim. We have peanuts, we have flax seeds, cashew nuts, hazelnuts, and a lot of other things which we cannot exhaust. If you started classifying them today, you probably spend the whole day. So what I was trying to say is there's basically plenty out there that we can ideally just go on with something different on a daily basis. That is for our own benefit. All these things which we see here are actually life-giving. Each one of them having a certain property uh, is for a certain cause in the body. So when we miss out on these and actually take something different, that causes the basis of disease. Again, another picture here showing us nuts and seeds. And then in the middle, we have nuts and grains. I know we can see corn there, maize, some cashew nuts and others. This is more of artistic, but at least it brings out the picture. On our right, far right, you can see coconut, and a lot of other things that are really funny, which we have seen, and others which we have not yet seen. Again, we see another dish here that shows us a summary of what God expects us to eat. We have all sorts of beans. Some of them I actually know their names in Uganda, others we don't know. So, but the whole idea is this was God's ideal right from the start. In the middle there, we can see peas. To your left, lower left, we have beans, and then some grains, which is rice, and a whole lot of other things. So basically, we cannot exhaust, and I think it's also very interesting to the eyes when we look at this. The whole point is God is really interested in us being healthy and enjoying this life to the fullest, much as there is the curse of sin, but he would us also be rather happy. So all that is just a showcase of what we can have on a daily basis. One may say, well, most of those things are not available. Yes, it may not be available. God has given you an option. If you're not taking the one on your top right, you can take one on your left. If you can't take the one on your left, you can take the downer one. But those of you who have visited our markets, actually Uganda is very blessed. You'll find that most of these things are available there in the markets. When you go down to Wino Market, or you go down, up at Nakasero, you still find most of these things. So there is really no particular reason as we should go against God's law by eating that which He has not instructed us. Later on, we will see that that actually going for things which God has not told us to eat is actually a form of disobedience. And we all know very well that sin actually entered the world through eating something that God had not instructed us to eat. And so that is why we have a floodgate of disease. And so because of that, God is trying to restore us to the original. And that is that calls for obedience from our part. Failure to do so after receiving all this knowledge, God will still take it as a form of disobedience. Well, there is really plenty of stuff. Pink peas, mung beans, mixed beans, green peas, black-eyed peas, lentils, which Daniel and his friends ate in Babylon. On me, so well, we're in Babylon. There's a lot of chicken and meat, but yeah, there's always some lentils somewhere. So there's no way uh, escape. There is no way, or there is no reason for disobedience, because God has provided a way for our escape. Let us look at some of the benefits we get from eating nuts, grains, and cereals. So we'll begin with the benefits that we get from nuts. One of the benefits we get is arterial health, and that is the fats that we get from nuts. Most of the fats that we get from nuts are actually very good for the arteries. Contrawise, or on the contrary, the fats that we usually get from animal fat, and that is when I say animal, I mean chicken, I mean beef, I mean eggs, and all that stuff. It's actually bad for the heart, but the ones that we get from the nuts are actually good for the arteries. So someone that is accustomed to eating nuts stands a higher chance of also staying away from most of diseases that are connected to the arteries. Then they reduce inflammation related to heart disease. When you go to the Heart Institute, you'll find a lot of people there suffering from inflammation that is related to the heart. Many areas of the heart suffer different kinds of inflammation. So when you eat nuts, all those ones that we've seen, you get those good fats that should prevent you from most of these conditions. Then we also have they decrease the risk of blood clots, which can lead to heart attacks and strokes. So you find that people who eat a lot of animal-related fats actually also suffer a lot from this condition. Why? Because the blood becomes actually very sticky, very sticky. So that is yet another problem. Then the other benefit we will find from eating nuts is they lower the risk of high blood pressure. So one of the major causes of high blood pressure is actually an accumulation of bad cholesterol in the heart. When it accumulates, it means blood cannot travel, move well through those fine vessels. The result is a blockage of the system, and therefore high blood pressure, or what the scientists usually call hypertension. Then the other benefit we get is they lower the risk of early death due to heart disease. This is actually true that many human beings actually suffer what we call premature death. Many people die prematurely, having not reached their full potential in life. So when you eat those nuts as an act of obedience to God, the risk of dying early is also reduced. Then, as we summarize, they also lower the unhealthy cholesterol levels, specifically low density lipoprotein or bad cholesterol and triglycerides, which can clog the heart. So, for our devotion this morning, I think we'll stop it there, and we can now meet later on tonight and probably finish up our topic, which is interesting. We'll end with that nice picture, which I believe is eye-catching for all of us. And the first glimpse or the first impression that you actually get by looking at that is actually that is life, and that is exactly what our bodies really want. So we will now pray and sum it up today. Our Father in heaven, we're thankful again that you have taught us about what we should put in our bodies to actually kick out disease, but also keep healthy and also enjoy, because it's all good. When you create this world, everything that came out of your hands, you declared good, because it was good to look at, it was good to taste, but also life-giving to our bodies. And so we would like to dedicate ourselves today again, that you forgive our sins, but you also heal our diseases through the medium of nature. Continue being us throughout the day. It's my humble prayer in Jesus' name.
Okay, thank you, Martin. Thanks, everyone.